My name is Joe Reichard. I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Saab Doctor. Today we're going to be installing the GlafenSaab NG95 rear LED taillight retrofit kit. That's a mouthful, but it's a really good kit, and we're going to open up and I'll tell you why we're going to upgrade this car to LED taillights. Stay tuned. Alright, I've got the box right here. Now I've already opened it, so I know what's in here. But what's in here is, that's the light bar repair kit. Nope, we're not doing that today. It'll be in another episode. Put that back. What we have here is the LED turn signal taillight kit. And what comes in here is a sheet with a QR code on it that you can scan to actually get the install manual, which I completely printed out. I figured it would be nice to just have on hand. Then you have a couple of the resistor kits where you can actually, these just patch in nice and easy. Then you have your LEDs. And you have a JB Weld 2-part epoxy for actually mounting the resistors. So the reason why you do this, now the actual bulbs are kind of expensive for this, and this kit isn't that expensive. I'm going to put a couple links below for the kit, for GlafenSaab's Facebook page, and you can actually buy this kit on Saab parts as well. So I'm going to make sure that I have all the correct links in the description below. So just reference that for everything you need. So anyways, the reason why you buy this kit is if you buy a generic bulb, those bulbs tend to overheat, and what they'll do is they'll actually melt the housing. So if you want the right thing and you don't want to melt the housing and you don't want to spend the money on the actual Saab bulbs, you buy this kit and then you don't have to worry about it ever again because LEDs hardly ever burn out. So this kit, according to what I read online and what it says, it takes about half an hour to install, and all you need is wire cutters, a wire stripper, and some tape if you want it. So we're going to get started on this. Okay, so the first bit of what we're going to be doing is the obvious bit. We're going to open the trunk and take out the tail light. Okay, so to remove the tail light, first off, there's this cover on the back of the tail light. You remove that. Now, some cars will have a sunroof drain right around here. This is not a sunroof car. It doesn't have a drain. There will be 3 of these plastic nuts to remove. If you remove all 3 of these. Then after that, you can pull the tail light out. And there is a push button on the top, and it just disconnects right from the connector. One thing to keep in mind is this is pretty much an irreplaceable tail light. So make sure you're handling this with caution. You don't want to drop it, you don't want to throw it, you probably don't want to shake it around like I am right now. I'm probably giving somebody anxiety. But be very, very careful with this tail light. So what you're going to want to do next, right here, that is where the bulb is housed that we're going to be replacing. Take this, grab that, give it a twist, pull the bulb out. So this is the bulb that was in there. This particular one is burnt out. At this point, we're actually going to just replace the bulb. So what you do, take the bulb, press down and turn. Oh, come on you. Oh, and this one is a little bit melted, but thankfully not that bad. So you press down and turn. Okay, so mine required a little bit of extra coercement. What I did was I pressed down and I turned, and this bulb was actually not seated all of the way either. So this is definitely a replacement bulb, and fortunately it burnt out before it did any damage. You can see this is actually a little, it's not like melted, but there's like a little bit melty there. And you can tell that this is completely melted on the bottom here. So when you look in here, this is actually still in good shape. This is probably most likely why the bulb itself stopped working. So I got really, really lucky, and you can actually see a little bit of the holder right there now that the camera's focused. So I got really, really lucky with this, that this didn't melt, it didn't melt the tail light, nothing like that, and that I can actually take this and replace it. So now at this point, we open up our LED bulbs. You take one of these nice fancy cool LED bulbs, and by cool I mean cool to the touch, not cool like cool. I mean, they are cool. Put one in, push down, rotate 90, and it's in. So then this can be put back into the taillight socket. Voila. And now you're about to say, but Joe, that was easy. Your work here is done. Gotta put the resistor in yet. So here's where the fun comes in. At this point, you're done with any modifications that the taillight needs to be out for, so we're going to take the taillight and put it back in the housing. At this point, you want to find the black and the blue-white wire. These will be in this harness in the trunk. I've already actually peeled back all of the tape from it, and this is why you might want electrical tape, because you may want to rewrap these. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure you're about 3 inches from the end, so you have ample wire to work with. I'm actually going to cut a hair further back just to make sure that I have enough wire. So let's get going on that. So you want to separate out the purple and the green wire. What you want is the black and the blue wire with a white stripe. So it's these 2 wires right here. I'm going to take these and I'm going to cut them right about here. Grab the stripper. You want to strip both ends. Alright, and once you have that done, what you'll want to do is you'll want to take the resistor and hook one part of the jumper, and you want to make sure you're on the same jumper, onto the black. And the other side of this exact same jumper to the other black one. Of course, make sure that it fits in there. You don't have any copper wire sticking out. You definitely don't want this to short out at all. That would not be good. And make sure it's fully seated. I always give them a little bit of a tug. So then do the exact same with the other side. Alright, so then once you have these all clipped down, I always just double check them, give them a little tug test. Alright, so that's actually completely installed now, minus actually gluing the resistor down. What I want to do is I want to test and make sure that I hooked it up right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in and I'm going to turn the left-hand turn signal on, see if it flashes, see if we get an error code on the dash. Alright, now what you're going to see is well, you've already seen two clips. The first one is, I go and I turn it on and the taillight doesn't work. Then I panicked a little bit. Then I went and I actually took the passenger side light out and I grabbed the bulb holder, because remember this one was a little bit melted when I pulled it out, and guess what? Put it over there, it worked, which means I need to replace this bulb holder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the part number of this bulb holder down in the description below, because obviously this is something that needs to be replaced quite often. Now when I pulled that other light out, let me grab it. It was actually melted as well. However, the bulb holder was not, and what I noticed was these are aftermarket bulbs. And on the passenger side, which would be the driver's side in Europe, but the passenger side on this particular US car, what I noticed was the light itself didn't have all the hardware that holds it down. So I'm actually going to have to order some of that as well. So let me jump on the computer and find that. But in the meantime, what we're going to do is I'm going to finish wiring the other side, and then I'll have to come back when I get the bulb holder in and actually put the correct bulb holder in. Alright, on this side we're doing the exact same thing we did on the other side. We're going to peel this back, and this actually doesn't have the same type of tape on it, so we're just going to gently kind of like cut this back. So on this side, you want to grab the blue and purple and the black wire. Peel this down a little bit more. I'm going to cut the wire. Then you want to strip them. Then you'll grab the resistor just like on the driver's side or passenger side, depending on what country you're in. Do the exact same thing. Connect the black, give it a tug to the black. And the blue, purple. To the blue, purple. Give a push, give a tug. Should be good. And this is all connected now, so this should be good to go. Okay, so what I did was I actually took the bulb from the other side, the bulb in the bulb holder, moved it over here. I want to test this side, make sure this works 100%. I'm ordering a new bulb holder, so that way I'll have one for the other side, and I'll just replace the one on the side that was bad. So let's test this one out. And it works perfect! See, what you want to make sure is that this portion right here is what's lighting up. So, works perfect. I'll get the other side done. Now let's mount these two resistors. Alright, now at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to mix up some epoxy. This epoxy is actually provided. So what you have is, you've got some steel JB weld. We're going to open it up. You don't actually need a ton of this. So we're going to take just a bit, I'm going to put it on a piece of cardboard. I'm going to take the hardener. Obviously open that up. Also put that on a piece of cardboard. You're trying to get about an equal amount of hardener as you did the initial JB weld. Now I'm wearing gloves. I'm just going to take it and give it a quick stir with my glove on, because there isn't a ton of this and you want to get this done really quickly. So now once this is mixed, you want to make sure it's mixed nice and well so it looks like a grayish color. You're going to take it, you're going to put it on the back of the resistor. Just kind of paint it on there with your finger. Make sure not to get it in the trunk liner of the car or on anything else. Make sure to put enough of it on here. Once that's done, you want to take this resistor and place it somewhere where it's not going to touch the trunk line or anything. I've decided to place it underneath here. So I'm just going to take it, I'm going to set it on, I'm going to hold it for a few seconds, then I'm going to go and I'm going to grab some tape to make sure it stays. One thing I'm going to note is you're going to want to remove that tape before actually using it. Those resistors get pretty hot. So now we're just going to repeat that with the other side. And that is how you install the LED rear taillight conversion kit. I hope it helped. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments below. It was super easy. If I hadn't been explaining it, I probably would have taken me less than half an hour actually. Maybe half hour to 45 minutes if you're really taking your time through it. I think it took me about an hour, but like I said, I was explaining it. I was going through the camera motions. I found that burnt socket. So check all your sockets first, and that'll save you some time in the end because then you can order those ahead of time. Honestly, all I have to do to get this 150% or at least 100% functional is just get that new socket, which I've already ordered from Saab parts, so that should be here in a couple days. So then the car will be good to go 100% and it'll never have that problem again. Don't forget, all the information on the kit is in the description below, all the links, everything you'll need. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe, and Saab on, folks.